Hello and welcome back to our training where we talk about how you can get more done in less time using the power of Prosperity Central. And on our training today, we're going to continue building out our process so that we can effectively and efficiently work through our contacts that are coming into our system. And more specifically, I'm going to show you how you can take advantage of a tool called PhoneBurner so that you can start powering through your calls at a rate of 60 to 80 dials an hour and producing massive results. But before we get into that, once again, my name is Jeff Osnes. I'm your host. I am your trainer. I am your tour guide as we go through this Prosperity Central system. And what is Prosperity Central? Prosperity Central is an online contact management system designed to help you manage, organize, and follow up with your prospects in an effective and efficient way. It was specifically designed for the network marketing industry. However, anyone in sales can really benefit by taking advantage of this amazing tool. So if you know somebody in sales or if you know somebody in network marketing, take a moment now and share this video with them so that they can start to learn about this system. Now let's get into our training today. Now, like I mentioned earlier, on our training, we are going to continue building out our process of effectively and efficiently working through our prospects as they're coming into the system, or if we're uploading them, or however we're getting them into the system. We want to make sure that we're efficiently and effectively working through those contacts. Now, if you watched our training yesterday, we went over to contacts, we went to our C1 Call 1 view, selected those contacts, and we began what's called a basic dial session, which is a great way to work through your prospects so that you can focus on those prospects and contacts and get those calls done quickly. However, today we're going to be talking about a tool called PhoneBurner. This is the first video of several videos as we go through and configure PhoneBurner to help us call through our prospects at a rate of 60 to 80 dials an hour. Now, yesterday when we were making calls, let's open up the basic dial session. So as you're making calls through a basic dial session, there's a lot of things that you have to do manually, such as moving a contact into a specific folder, scheduling an appointment, sending a follow-up email based off of, the outcome of the call, updating your fields and updating your notes, all of this stuff. There's a lot of stuff that you need to do as you're going from one call to the next to ensure that your contacts get placed in the proper location within your account. What if you could get most of that done with a click of one button? For example, let's say I was calling this contact and I called her and I needed to leave a voicemail. What would I have to do? I would, have to call the number. I would have to listen to it ring. I'd have to listen to her greeting. I'd have to wait for the beep, and then I have to spend the time saying my message. I'd have to use my voice and leave a voicemail. And then after I do that, I would need to come down in here, add a note, left a message. I would need to send a follow-up email, right? Potentially. Send an email. I wouldn't necessarily need to move this contact anywhere because just because I left a voicemail, she didn't change in my pipeline in any way. So I don't need to move her anywhere. I don't need to schedule an appointment. So it's going to be different based off the call outcome, but there's always going to be something that I need to update every time I'm calling or reaching out to a contact. And let's go ahead and save this contact and move on. Let's close this. But what if we could do all of that or most of that with a click of a button? What if we could pre-record our voicemail so when we're calling a contact and it goes to voicemail, I don't have to listen to the entire greeting. I don't have to wait for the beep. I can click a button and immediately move on to the next call while the system hangs on the line, waits for the beep, and plays my pre-recorded message, and it notates the contact record, letting future Jeff know that, hey, Jeff, you called this contact on this date and this time, and you left a voicemail. Also, logging that call activity so that contact will disappear from the C1 Call 1 quick view and then reappear in C1 Call again a few days later. Wouldn't that be nice? And that's what we're going to start working through over the next several days. We're going to start talking about the PhoneBurner tool. So we're going to jump over to marketing. We're going to go down to PhoneBurner. And within this tool is where we're going to go in and start configuring our settings. They're called dispositions. So we're going to be working on dispositions. The dispositions are the buttons that you'll see as you're making calls. We're also going to be working on voicemails. We're going to create voicemails. We're going to record voicemails that we can use as we're making calls. We're also going to talk about caller ID, how we can configure the caller ID within the system so that no matter what phone we use to make calls, we can actually control what caller ID somebody would see. So let's say I want to work from my home phone, but I want my cell phone number showing up as my caller ID, or vice versa. We'll be talking about how to configure that. We'll talk about things like click to present, being able to play an audio file live when we're on the phone with somebody. Maybe we have a recording from one of our upline or some other leader within the industry or company that we want to play to somebody when we're on the phone with them. We'll talk about that as well. So anyway, on today's call, we're just kind of introducing PhoneBurner. We're talking about it in general, but just know over the next several days, we are going to build out the configuration of our PhoneBurner tool so that we can power through our calls at a rate of 60 to 80 dials an hour, and we can really start to get more done in less time. But that's it for our training today. As you can see, Prosperity Central is all about helping you boost sales and growth. It is a super simple system that helps you present your opportunity, organize your contacts, track your contact activities so you know who to focus on and when to focus on them. And of course, there is the 2-tier affiliate program that is built into the system so that you can start building a second income stream, all while helping your team take advantage of tools they should be using anyway. It is mobile friendly and it is priced just right. Now, speaking of price, there are 3 account levels: basic, professional, and premier. The basic account is there so that everybody on your team has no excuse not to have a Prosperity Central account. Everybody should have a Prosperity Central account so they can plug into you and your training. But for those that are serious about building a business, they should upgrade to the professional account. $24.95 a month gives them everything they need to manage, organize, and follow up with their prospects in an effective and efficient way. Now, the premier account is for you, the team leader. The Premier account gives you the ability to create customizations within your account and then share those customizations with your organization so that they don't have to do it themselves. They can just plug into you and your training and follow what you're doing. Now, if you don't have a Prosperity Central account, you need to go get one today. Go to prosperitycentral.biz. Once again, prosperitycentral.biz. Go set up your account now so that you can start getting more done in less time using the power of Prosperity Central. Thanks again, and happy prospecting.